Okay, I'm inside of a cave. Not allowed to tell you which one, but it's a really cool cave. I'm taking my time looking around. So, let me show you where I am. I'm going out on this ledge, literally, very carefully. It's a little wet, but it's not too slippery. So I'm going to very carefully try to climb over here without getting myself killed, or worse. Right, drop my camera. All right, here we go. So I'm not going to go farther up there. There is obviously a little ledge up there, but it's not going to be worth doing for me. But anyway, but if you look down here in this little dead end, look at this. Cool little formations under there. Can I get an ooh, ah out of everybody? Alright. So let me very carefully explore here. Notice the walls are mostly smooth. We've got a few small dripstone formations. Very interesting. And then there's some nooks and crannies up there too, but can't really see from up here. Not safe to climb up the wall here, so I'm going to go around to a different spot where it is easier. Actually, as long as I'm here, let me turn up the light all the way so you can see where I am. There. So there's the main tube to the right. That's the dead end. As you can see, it's like 50 feet or more across. And that's the way out. So I'm going to go over here on this rock pile and then turn left and go up to a little side passage. It's a little bit of work, but it's really cool. Like I said, I have to be really careful here that I don't slip. Light. I want to make sure my light doesn't overheat either. I only have 3 good lights with me. But I want to make darn sure that they keep working. So look at this. There's some formations over there. I'll show these better in a minute. For now, look at that. There's some little formations on the floor next to the wall. So again, there's that upper level. I'll climb up there in a couple minutes. Here's a cool, almost pillar. So over here is a dead end, but I'm very carefully go up here and take a look around. Oh yeah. There we go. So from up here, you can see there are a few small formations. You see those formations on the wall, that's where I just was. See, I was just down there. So as soon as I find a way to safely stand up, I'm going to turn up my light. Oops, I hit my head on the ceiling. That's what the helmet's for. But I should be more careful. I don't want to damage formation. Okay, here we go. So look at this. Turn up my light all the way again. So that's the way out. Notice I'm in this huge room. Notice this couple dozen feet down to the main floor. There's the good part of the cave back through there. So this is where I just was. See, that's where I stood up. I accidentally hit the ceiling. Oops. My bad. All right. At least there aren't really any formations on the ceiling up here. Now I could climb up here, but it's too hard. I'm going to go around an easier way. So let me turn my light back down to 30%. Save the battery life. That was just this rock. Yeah, see, this black rock, some places it's slippery, some places it's not. I really want to be careful and not fall down here. I wouldn't fall very far, but it still might hurt, you know what I'm saying? It's like falling off a bicycle. Probably nobody actually died from falling off a bicycle, but I bet quite a few people cried. So this here is actually the way I need to get up. That rock over there, I need to climb on top of it if I want to get up here. So I'll go ahead and do that. As soon as I get over here and look underneath. Now look at this black stuff here. I don't know how well you can see, but it's not just pure black. It's like got ridges, ripples, really pretty. But yeah, let me get up here on top of this rock. Excuse me. Same thing with the wall over here. So notice I'm still not up to the top. Here's the next ledge I need to get up, but it'll be easier to go over here to the left. So, see if I can very carefully get over here. Down there is where I just was. All right, I'm technically up here alive. Before I do anything cool, wow, look at this floor. See how there's white ripples? Hold on a second. Wow. Now look at this shape down here on the floor. This is very, very nice. If you see this, don't step on it. Notice I'm going around it. I'm not touching it. But anyway, let me turn up my light to 100%. Okay. So this is the way I just climbed up. There's the way out. This is the way I just climbed up. That's where I just was. Over there is the good part of the cave. So now, turn my light down to 30%. I'm down to 1 bar on this light. I might have to pause the video in a bit. One thing at a time here. Notice the floor house mostly smooth up here. Same with the ceiling. But look at this puddle. There's a nice big black puddle here. Look at this. The shapes in the water. See if I get over here. Like I said, if you want to see something like this, go to eastern Idaho. They've got the springs. Shoot, I can't remember the springs. They got like a state park there. It's like halfway between Craters of the Moon and what's that famous Yellowstone. It's basically, imagine a cave without the walls and ceiling. It's just floor. Kind of like Yellowstone, but it's inactive. So I think it's mostly just a bunch of hot springs. But yeah, it looks a lot like this, but it's even better. It's outdoors. It's a lot safer and easier for beginners. It's not quite as pretty, but it's actually better. I went there last summer. Hopefully I'll go back again sometime. I like to rotate around. So like this one here. After this video, unless I take somebody else to this cave, I probably won't come back here for 2 or 3 years. I'll be busy doing other stuff. Because most of the cave is just boring rock. But it's not gray, it's not really brown either. It's just kind of a weird shape. But yeah, look at this. Okay, look at this. See how there's like a little hill shaped like a volcano here. And then next to it is that black stuff with the white ripples. Wow. This is like the coolest part of the cave. Most people skip it because, you know, their definition of formation is just, you know, the stalactites and stalagmites. But I think these mineral deposits are a lot prettier. But like I said, these are even more fragile. So if you come up here, please don't touch. Now, I'm almost to the end. If I go any farther, I'll have to take off my backpack. So I'm not going to go any farther. I'm just going to turn around here. You get the idea. There's a lot of good stuff up here. Lots of really neat shapes. Like all these kind of round. I'm not even sure what you call these shapes. That's a technical term, round. All right, so let me get back out of here. I'm hunching over here. Now it's not really tall enough to stand up in. I don't want to damage the ceiling. Not really any formations here on the ceiling, but still. It's a bad habit to touch the ceiling. Okay. This one, see, there's no real formations on the floor except for this cool field. But look at this one here. Look at the big ripples. Wow. Nice. All right. We go over to the other side. Then look again from another angle. Nice. All righty then. See, there's actually a tiny formation here. You can hardly see it though because this is black. But I want to look at the wall anyway. Suspicious how it's like mostly white on the left and black on the right. And over here it's black on the left, white on the right. But I do want to get close enough so you can see the different textures. So there's that. And then over here, wow. Like I said, this isn't really, this is the mineral deposits on the lava tube. The lava tube formed once and it stays pretty much constant. But this mineral is still growing and growing as long as it's wet. So please don't touch it. All right. Okay. I want to check the floor here. It's kind of hard to see because it's all black, but still got some of that formation, the different shapes and textures here. I think I already showed you this on the way in, but I'll get it on the way out too. I'm heading back to the main tube now. See, the hard part of this cave is getting out of it. There's like a part of this cave, getting out of it is crazy. So, yeah, I wouldn't bring a beginning caver here at all. Unless I knew for sure. One, they're not claustrophobic. Two, they know how to squeeze through an interesting little piece of cave. So notice I'm kind of on top of a cliff here. The easiest way is over here on the right. I'm gonna have to go very slowly and carefully so I don't slip. Make sure I have all the traction I need. The good news is the rocks here are not slippery. In fact, they're so rough that if I'm not careful, they can catch on my pants or something. So, all right, here we go. Okay, well, that was less than, we'll call that A-. But if you look at this black stuff here close up, you can see how it is pretty. It's not just solid black, but it's darn close. Very wet in most places. There's wet spots and dry spots. Okay, my flashlight battery is down to 1 bar. I don't want to be climbing around, have it die on me. So I think when I get down to the bottom of this cliff here, oops, I think I see a good spot where I can pause the video, switch battery, semi-light, so I can get down somewhat safely, or get out of this cave somewhat safely. Okay, good. This rock will make a good little table. So this is the way I climbed down. Made it, didn't I? There's the side passage. And they're here. Lots of little formations. So I'm going to use these as a reference when I pause the video. So when I start the video again, you know where I am.